1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi, day 2.
Welcome to Reindeer Games.
I'm here with Marilyn. This is pressing day. What do you need more in 2020 than to iron out all the wrinkles?
If only we could.
Yeah. It's just been crumpled up and shoved in a ball in the corner of your closet, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'd like to do with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So today is going to be all about pressing. We've got some fantastic products for you. We'll start with our lovely wool mats. I don't even like to press anymore without a wool mat underneath it.
No, I love mine too. They're fantastic. It's quite unbelievable what a difference it makes.
Yeah.
Your blocks are just so much flatter, and just everything looks so nice and smooth, and you just don't get that with a regular ironing board.
Yes.
And you don't have to go big. I mean, the little one, if you're just doing little blocks, perfect. If you want something bigger that will fill up your ironing board, we go right up to a 17 by 24.
That's my favorite.
And various sizes in between, 17 by 17, 13 and a half by 13 and a half, and then the little 9 by 9.
Yep, we've got all 4 sizes provided by this company this year. These two are great for travel, or, when you're going to class or retreat. If that ever happens again.
Oh,
or if you're just, sitting in your living room with it on your lap or something.
or beside your sewing machine, if you're doing paper piecing and you don't want to get up every 5 seconds to go to the iron. But one thing is, if you're doing it on a surface other than your ironing board, you want something underneath it, especially if you're using steam, because it will go right through.
Yeah, I have seen that a lot, and I was going to mention that too. People will say, oh, they're so thick, that you don't have to worry about the heat transferring through. That might be okay if you're doing it with a dry iron and not using any steam at all. But if you're using any starch or a spray bottle or steam from your iron, please put something underneath it to protect your surface. I usually just use my ironing pad, but if you're doing it on wood or laminate or anything like that, you do want underneath protected for sure. So to go with maybe your little ironing, your little wool mat, we have a new travel iron this year that has just been released a couple months ago from Steam Fast, and these are great little travel irons. They do hold water underneath the little sticker here, and they're a great little iron for using beside your machine or when you're traveling, anything like that. Sometimes I like to sew in the kitchen just because I don't like to be down in the studio, and I'll bring up my travel iron and one of my wool mats and my featherweight and just sew on the kitchen table so I can be around everything. Comes with a great little storage bag, but you can make one better than this. What else do we have?
Well, also for ironing, we have the wonderful flatter. Is that it there? No, that's soap. Flatter, which eases out any wrinkles that you might have, and we're carrying it in the unscented.
Yeah.
Seems to be the most popular, and it's a wonderful, and it's Canadian too, isn't
it? It is,
It's a Canadian product. And to go along with that, we also have the soap in 2 different sizes, and this is what I've been using to wash my masks.
That's what I used to.
Yeah, every night just a little squirt of soap and some warm water and let it soak, and then scrub and rinse, and you're done.
Yep. And then I forgot to mention, we also have the Gypsy Quilter iron rests to go with your irons this year. They are a full-size rest, but you can use it with your travel iron as well. We'll have those in 3 colors. We couldn't get the samples here in time for the video. They'll be in red, purple, and green. And so you can pick your favorite, and then you can just rest your iron down on it and not have to worry about it scorching your ironing board.
It's great if you have any wrist problems or whatever, so you're not constantly picking up and putting down a heavy iron.
Yeah. So I guess in the basting category, if you're getting a lot of your quilts ready to finish and need to baste them, we have two products for that depending on your personal preference or your use.
We have the 505 spray, which is very effective, and we also have the Quilters Select fusible free fuse powder. This is a fairly new product, and you can buy the shaker, and then you can buy the refills for it. And for this, you just sprinkle a little on your piece that you're wanting to fuse, put your fabric down, iron it, and you're fused. And it's odor-free, and
I did try this when it came in, and it's actually really great. I like it a lot. You do get the little shaker container. It just the lid comes off. You have a little perforated top, and you just pop that out, and what you've got inside is a refill container. So when you need more, all you have to do is buy your refills. You just sprinkle it on, as Marilyn said, very lightly, and iron it down. Now you do have to do it on both sides, but you do that with fusible batting or 505 or anything like that as well. And this has no odor whatsoever, and it doesn't like to go back in the container either when it's still in the bag.
you unwrap the present.
So we have both of those as well. They say I used it on a small project, but they say one package is more than enough for a queen size quilt if you don't get too overzealous with sprinkling it on.
And you probably don't need all that much either.
No,
it's very light,
very fine.
Right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. We also have the applique pressing sheets and the strip sticks. Strip sticks are fantastic. Have you used those much?
Just a little bit, and I know Sherry has always loved using those. They're fantastic if you want your seams pressed open. Just, if you lay your seam over it, it just sort of spreads it open enough that it's easy to run the iron along.
Yeah, and the thing that I found is when you're doing that and then you have cross seams, it prevents the iron from catching those seams that go across and flipping those over as well. So it just gives you that nice press, gets your seam that you're trying to press right up under the iron, whereas the rest of it you don't need to worry about so much. Those are a staple in the shop. We have them in all the time, and they fly out the door like you wouldn't believe. The pressing sheets, great for if you're using a lot of fusibles. It's not necessarily just for applique. They're great for lots of different kinds of things. I know I use them a lot in bag making when I'm using fusible interfacings, glue, all kinds of stuff that you don't end up wanting stuck to your iron or your ironing board. Yeah, that's not fun when that happens. If it does happen, a dryer sheet usually works pretty well. If you
getting it off your iron.
Yeah,
right?
If you've ironed the wrong side of a fusible interfacing by accident, just rub your hot iron over a dryer sheet. But this will protect you from that happening in the first place. I did mean to bring mine rolled out, but it's basically just a silicone or a Teflon sheet that you put down in between your iron and the offending articles.
The dangerous articles, yeah.
Have you ever had a quilt run?
Many times.
Or fabric?
Many times. Which is why I know there's big debate. Do pre-wash or not pre-wash? I pre-wash everything.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I never pre-wash anything.
You like to live
flannel.
on the edge.
Yeah, I guess so. Or maybe we just call that lazy. So we have two products here. I know a lot of people are big fans of the Shout color catchers. Because they are only available in the States, we're having a really hard time getting them right now. It's been impossible. Even since before COVID, we ran out, and we just haven't been able to find a reasonable source to get them back in. These have been around forever. I've used them before. Retain and Synthropol. So there are a couple rules for these. If you have fabric that you're pre-washing, you want to use Retain. And what that will do is it will help set any of the excess dye into your fabric so that it doesn't run in the future once it's made into a project. If you have a project that has already been finished or partially finished, whatever, and it has run into the other fabric, you want to use Synthropol. That will help to float out the excess dye and stop it from redepositing on your fabrics. The last thing you want to do is use Retain if you have something that is run in a finished product, because that will set that run forever and you'll never get rid of it. So Retain is for pre-washing and Synthropol is for using in finished products. So we have both of those on as well. And, you know, I have a bottle of each of these just for in case, because you never know.
You do.
And I think that's it for pressing day. Did we get, oh, the freezer paper.
That's right. I was just going to say the freezer paper.
The Kim Deal freezer paper. So people ask us all the time about freezer paper. Kim Deal has a new, not really a new product out, but she has her own product out now. Very handy for applique and all kinds of, you know, places where you maybe need to trace templates.
And they're, instead of on a roll, it's cut to the size to go through an inkjet printer, is that right?
Yes. Inkjet
Only.
only.
Not laser.
Don't use it in a laser printer or photocopier because they use heat. And unlike a lot of people think, freezer paper does not have a waxy side. It's not wax paper. It's not parchment paper. It's actually a plastic coating on the side that you stick to your fabric. And it actually kind of melts to make it stick. So you can reuse it a couple times. I've reused mine 3 or 4 times, you know.
If you're ironing it on, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I have. I've made stocking templates out of freezer paper and have used them over and over and over until there's so much lint on it, it doesn't stick anymore. But yeah, they are reusable. Now, I'm not sure if you put it through a printer and used it for applique, you probably could still use that shape again.
Oh yeah,
couldn't you?
yeah, because you'd just be cutting it out to the shape that print on there. So once you used it, you're not actually going by that shape anymore because it's already cut out. Yeah, just don't put it in a laser printer because that plastic will melt and yeah, you'll just be buying new drums. So,
Which is more expensive than buying the freezer paper.
Exactly. So they come in a package of 30 sheets and they're 8.5 by 11. And they're all ready to go for whatever you want to use them for. You can wrap your steaks in them too if you want. Don't know why you would, but
But it is good for that purpose as well. Yeah.
So that's all we have for pressing day. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Jolly old Saint Nicholas, lead your year this way. Don't you tell a single soul what I'm gonna say. Christmas it feels coming soon. Now you're your old man. Whisper what you bring to me. Tell me